After an internal review, the Secret Service has suspended 6 people without pay. It comes nearly a year after the assassination attempt against President Trump. A former firefighter was the only person killed by that gunman that day. And now the sister of that former firefighter says she's angry at the agency for not taking accountability.
They have my brother's blood on their hands, and they're able to return to work and go back to living their lives. It's not fair. It isn't fair. Our family is furious.
Corey Comperatore's sister, Kelly, is furious, frustrated, and angry, slamming the U.S. Secret Service after announcing it suspended 6 people for up to 6 weeks without pay or benefits after wrapping its internal review of the Trump attempted assassination in Butler. No one will be fired.
How does something like this happen and nobody is fired? 10 days to 42 days of suspension, and they returned to their jobs. They returned to their jobs on restricted duty or limited duty. What does that mean?
The former fire chief husband and father was shot in the head and killed while shielding his family from the gunfire. Corey was 50. Rally-goers Jim Copenhaver and David Dutch shot but survived. Kelly believes the Secret Service hasn't taken enough accountability.
Accountability? No, they haven't. If suspending 6 people and us finding this out now is their idea of accountability, it is not. It is not. We need names.
Kelly wants information about who decided to put the AGR building where Thomas Crooks fired 8 shots outside the secured perimeter, to the person from the Secret Service who didn't pick up walkie-talkies, and what was communicated from that command post when law enforcement lost sight of Crooks. Do you feel like the federal government, will protect its own?
I do. Why have we heard nothing up until this point? Nothing. I feel like we are not being told the whole truth. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I want people to pay.
Kelly says no one from the federal government has reached out to her a year later. Has the Secret Service reached out to you, Corey's mother, or anyone else?
No.
How does that make you feel?
We have not been contacted by anyone. My mother buried a son, and nobody has contacted us. We did get 2 calls from the Trump administration, from President Trump himself, right after the shooting. But since everything has transpired, we have been kept completely out of the loop.
She believes President Trump could help get those answers. Do you want to hear from President Trump?
I would, and I think my mom would too. Yeah, absolutely. He almost died that day too. You would think that there would be some kind of urgency, right? You would think that there would be urgency, that he would be putting the heat on some people in the administration to get to the bottom of this. Give this family some answers. My mom is afraid. She's 78 years old. She's afraid that she's going to die before she knows who is responsible for killing her little boy.
Let's bring in CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane for all things DOJ. Scott, thank you for joining us today. We know there's still plenty of questions about that assassination attempt, especially when it comes to the gunman. So it's been almost a year now. What more do we know about him?
It's been a year and there's no motive that's known right now, and that is causing problems, as you just saw in that report. It's also leaving vulnerable the ground for conspiracy theorists to give whatever outlandish theory they want to give. Thomas Crooks was 20 years old when he fired the shot, and he was really a walking contradiction. He was a student who was diligent, trying to boost his grades, was particularly compelling with his projects in class. His teachers were impressed. He was ascendant, looking to go to a 4-year program to be an engineer, and had a particular interest in helping people with disabilities, according to our CBS News review. At the same time, all those things were happening, he was trying to build a bomb and was targeting how to get more weaponry, and was targeting, ultimately, President Trump. That walking contradiction also is going to fuel more of these conspiracy theories and fuel concerns that we don't know enough about. Why this 20-year-old changed history.
Yeah, still so many questions about that now, nearly a year later. And Scott, we just want to let people know that they can find yours and the rest of the CBS News team's reporting on our website, and we'll have more on your story in the next hour.